Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a clip of someone talking about how they refused to be weighed at the doctor's office. We're also going to be taking a look at several comments underneath that video where people have a lot of interesting things to say. Plus, we're going to be taking a look at several bonus clips from this same creator, who happens to be one of the hosts on the podcast The Fab Fatties, so be sure to stick around until the end. Before we proceed, please click the like button so that I may apply comb to mustache. How I request not being weighed at my doctor's appointments.
Hey. Good, how are you? You need this, right? Awesome. Can we skip the scale? Thank you. I know, because you're the best. Hey.
Okay, so she goes to the doctor's appointment and asks to not be weighed on the scale for some reason. I'm not sure why some people don't want to be weighed at the doctor's office. If we're going there for their advice, maybe we should listen to their diagnostic tools and take them seriously. Maybe we shouldn't refuse stepping on the scale, getting blood work, or various other diagnostic tests that our doctor wants to perform on us. I don't understand people not wanting to be weighed, as if that changes anything. The scale is just a literal representation of reality. If we can't stand to see what it says, that sounds like we have a huge issue around our weight. Let's take a look at the comments. This person says you need a new doctor that will hold you accountable. This person says it's hilarious going to the doctor while ignoring the cause of all of your health problems. Yeah, it's kind of funny to constantly be going to the doctor, but refuse some of their diagnostic tests, such as the scale. If we're there for their advice, why are we refusing their tests? This person says this is a very sad mindset. The scale isn't supposed to hurt your feelings, it's just data, and avoiding it won't make your obesity go away. It definitely won't change our situation to not see the scale. And if we're at the doctor's office because we have health problems, perhaps the scale is actually relevant. Either way, going like this, la 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 la, doesn't make it go away. It doesn't change the facts about the situation. It doesn't change anything. To me, it seems a little wacky to be so triggered by knowing our actual weight. This person says, can I be in complete denial about my absolutely atrocious eating habits and overall health? Thanks. This person says, keep running from your issues. They're gonna catch up before you know it. This person says, yeah, let's just completely ignore our problems, hoping they magically go away. Effing toddler mindset. Yeah, I don't think that not doing the diagnostic tests that let us know what type of condition we have makes the condition go away. This person says ignoring the engine light doesn't make the problem disappear. This person says don't test my blood sugar either, please. It's a trigger. Yeah, that's a good analogy because you're basically doing that. You're refusing one of the diagnostic tests. This one happens to be the scale that doctors use to determine your level of health. You're like, yeah, no, we're not doing any blood tests. We're not doing an EKG. We definitely ain't stepping on that stupid scale. This person says, ma'am, getting weighed isn't the problem here. No, I'm pretty sure it is. The problem is actually the device that tells us how much we weigh. Not where we're at in life. It's actually the diagnostic tool that gives us a glimpse of reality. That's the real problem. This person says, keep running from your issues. They're gonna catch up before you know it. This person says, it's hilarious going to the doctor while ignoring the cause of all your health problems. That basically says what I said. Why would you go to the doctor looking for their advice and then ignore some of their diagnostic tests, essentially? I've seen many other clips of people arguing with their doctor, trying to tell their doctor how they should treat them and all this other type of stuff. We're reaching a new level when we refuse diagnostic tests at the doctor's office. Next. Here's some kind of poem, I think. I am fat. Tell me, what other choices do I have? Lose weight? Shrink myself? I have spent 20 years trying to do just that. Diet to diet, gym to gym, trying to find anything that would help me shrink. Okay. I'm not saying that you have to, but countless other people have actually lost weight. So if they can do it, we can do it. That's what my head is. Also, it's bizarre to say shrink instead of lose weight. I am publicly fat. Tell me, what other choices do I have? Hide in my house? Never take a picture? I spent years doing just that, and it didn't help me be any less publicly fat. Publicly fat? I want to be privately fat. What is this? I am publicly fat and I am liberated. Tell me, what other choices do I have? Spend the rest of my life hating myself? Be so paralyzed by shame that I waste a life? Is this a haiku? Sorry. It would have to be 5 syllables and then 7 syllables and then 5 syllables again. I am publicly fat. I am liberated. No, okay, it's not a haiku. It's just worded very strangely. I am publicly fat, I am liberated, and I am happy. Tell me, why does that bother you? It doesn't. When people are genuinely happy, that doesn't bother me at all. I'm not the slightest bit perturbed by that. Tell me, what other choices do I have? Okay, that's not a haiku. All right. I've done countless hours of research, and I've come to the conclusion that that is not a haiku. Next. Just got word that plus-size boots will finally fit plus-size calves. Nah, just kidding. Happy April Fools to all our fellow bootless baddies. Dang it, I thought we were gonna get plus-size boots that could finally fit our calves. Damn it. Why are you leading me on? Good news, airline seats are now designed to fit actual human bodies. Bad news, April Fools, the battle for armrests continues. Dang it. I thought they were making the seats bigger for a minute there. You fooled me. Breaking. The entire fashion industry just announced they're actually going to make plus-size clothes that fit, are stylish, and cost the same as straight sizes. Why would they cost the same? Happy April Fools, you really thought? No, I didn't think. Thinking is for morons. And cost the same as straight sizes? Why would they cost the same when it uses more material? This just in, 2 burgers should cost the same as 1. Boing. That doesn't make any sense. Breaking. BMI has been officially deemed useless, and doctors will now treat fat patients without assuming all symptoms can be cured by just losing weight. Ha ha, April Fools. Imagine. Well, I mean, there's a good reason they've been using the BMI to determine whether or not somebody is healthy. They've done the studies, I think. Huge announcement. A plus-size brand just revealed that their entire size range will be available in store, not just online. Ha ha ha, gotcha. Happy April Fools to everyone still haunting the single rack in the back of the store. Dang it, none of those things are actually happening. Those were April Fool's jokes. Darn it. So you're telling me they're not going to carry plus-size clothes for the same price as all the other clothes? What the heck? This is crazy. Yeah, why would plus-size garments cost the same as smaller garments if they use more material? That's just one aspect. There are several aspects that make plus-size garments more expensive, including the fact that they have to be sized and shaped specifically for plus-sized bodies. Some people may not know that plus sizes are actually shaped differently than regular sizes. When you get into actual plus sizes, these are modeled after a different body, a plus-size person. When you get into 1X and 2X, they are actually shaped differently, unlike an XXL. An XXL is just a larger version of a straight size garment. Interesting, right? You're like, dude, what? I don't give a shit. Shut up. Shut up and listen to this lesson. You will care about plus size fashion. You will care. God damn it.
These 2 lovely ladies walked into the store and they were shopping together.
Were they lovely?
And they were yapping and they, seemed to be having a lovely time together. 2 friends, I would assume. One of the girls was a straight size, a very thin straight size person. The other girl looked more similar to us. And as they were approaching the sales counter, the straight size person says to the not straight size person.
The straight size person says to the not straight size person, I can really get into this story. I'm not being distracted by all this bizarre terminology. The straight-sized person turns and says to the not straight-sized person, did you know that you're not straight-sized? And they were like, what? What does that term even mean? I'm just standing here. What are you talking about?
That's why I can't smoke weed, because I get fat. I realize that this girl probably had no ill intent in saying these things, right? She probably had no ill intent. She wasn't thinking anything badly of her friend. But
However, I see where you're going with this, and honestly, I agree. If you're around somebody that's larger than you and you talk about how you're so fat and I can't do this because I'll be so fat, like, you know what the hell you're doing. Okay, I'm going to have to agree with her. I know that's exactly where the hell she's going.
But if you think about it, okay, so you just told your friend, I can't smoke weed because then I'll look like you.
Yeah.
Oh, what?
Honestly, she's right. That is not chill.
No. And you said it in front of me. And babe, I know you have eyes. So you said that in front of two fat people.
Do you feel like there's an inference from people who...
I feel like that shit was on purpose. I feel like that's a microaggression, or the thinner person is trying to make themselves feel better by dunking on their friend and everybody else around them. I can't do this because then I'll look like you guys. Oh, thank you for that, Bethany. That was really cool to randomly bring that up. This is one thing that I absolutely agree with them on.
Who are smaller to people who are bigger, that they don't want to be big too, that it's like a shared commonality, and that's what makes it okay to say. She was like, oh, I don't want to do that because then we'd both be in the same boat.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's not chill. I actually agree.
Exactly. I very much think that's what it is. It's like, you don't want to be that way, and I definitely don't want to get that way. So, like, that's why I'm making this comment, right? And it's that assumption. It's that assumption, like, you're probably not comfortable in your body, and I wouldn't be comfortable in that body either. So that's why I feel okay making this kind of comment.
Okay, like I said, I actually agree with them on that one. People like to do a lot of weird passive-aggressive nonsense out there in society. I have a very good counter for passive-aggressiveness, and that is actual aggressiveness. If you were to say, I can't smoke weed because then I would be fat, and you were standing next to me and I was larger than you, I would be like, yeah, we wouldn't want you to get to be my size, huh? That would be terrible, wouldn't it? That's how you counter that. I'm not trying to encourage people to go out there and get in all sorts of confrontations. But the only way to counter passive aggressiveness is with direct aggressiveness. People do that shit because they think you're just gonna take it and be like, oh, dang it, they said something mean to me. But if you counter it by saying something direct to them, letting them know that you saw that shit and you don't think it's funny, they don't have anything to say. They're just like, I didn't really expect you to just call me out straight to my face like that. Next. When a brand only goes up to a size XL but posts, all bodies are welcome. Okay, it's playing some copyrighted Lady Gaga music in the background that I will have to sing for you now. I don't wanna be friends. I don't wanna be friends. She doesn't wanna be friends. Okay, so she doesn't like it when a brand only goes up to a size XL, but posts that all bodies are welcome. She doesn't want to be friends with that. I also cannot be friends with a brand that does that. She doesn't want to be friends with a brand that doesn't go beyond an XL. Next.
At what point do people learn this? We expect kids, kids say the darndest things.
Yeah.
And kids say things that aren't.
Kids are little bastards. That's what kids say the darndest things means. What do you mean I'm old? What the hell is that supposed to mean, Timothy? What do you mean?
Top their head without too much thought or filter.
I agree. We should ban children.
They don't know how people are going to think about it, and oftentimes they're saying it in a descriptive way and there's no positive or negative associated with it. And I think a lot of times our response to it matters.
I also hate the honesty of children.
Adults, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, at what point do you know
Adults are just as bad as the kids.
not to comment on other adults' bodies?
Yeah.
Oh, is that where this is going? Oh, this had to do with talking about bodies and stuff. I thought we were just hating on kids.
And I would say, again, in my experience, a lot of people don't say it to their face, they'll say it behind their back. And, whether it's a positive.
Can I just say something? You guys are filming this podcast in an empty room, and I can hear the emptiness of the room. Those foam panels that they sell online and whatnot are actually for that.
Or a negative thing they're saying about their body. And that, again, if I hear you talking about someone else's body, it sticks with me regardless of whether you talk to me about my body.
Yeah.
So I'm clocking it left and right. And even with this week, as we were talking about it, you had a couple instances, I had a couple instances, like it happens all the time.
Okay, so you're saying too many adults talk about bodies openly and freely in front of others, much like children who don't know any better, but the adults should know better, is what you're saying. She had a couple instances. She said it happens all the time. Next.
I was getting rowdy, all right? I was getting hot and bothered.
Okay.
Yeah, girl, hot and bothered.
Are we going somewhere with this?
Rowdy.
I was getting hot and bothered, and I did know that I needed to calm that down.
I was getting hot and bothered, and I did know that I needed to calm that down. What? What is that supposed to mean? What do you mean? I don't understand. You're gonna have to elaborate quite a bit. I don't know why I included that random clip. It literally has nothing to do with anything. Many of these have nothing to do with anything. I just thought they were interesting. And for some reason, that is a clip on their Instagram page. Like, that little short clip is supposed to make you want to watch the rest of the podcast. Honestly, I do. What the hell are we hot and bothered about? What are we going to do to appease this situation? Maybe I should just calm down. Maybe I should stop asking questions. Well, that makes me need to watch the full podcast episode immediately. Next. Eating in my fat body because all bodies deserve food. Eating in my fat body. Okay. Okay. I included this because the wording is very strange indeed. Eating in my fat body, as if it's like a condo or something. It's a luxury apartment that we've moved into. We're eating inside of our fat body. We're gonna go over by the breakfast nook within our fat body and enjoy a sandwich over there. Oh, this audio, bro. I feel like I'm having a fever dream. Let's go back and listen to this audio. I feel like I'm in some sort of nightmare. Like, just the audio of this thing. And if you ever saw him, you would even say it glows. Was that Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? I think it was. All right, and we're gonna wrap up the collection of clips right there. In that last clip, we saw somebody eating in their fat body because all bodies deserve food. I love that phrase, eating in my fat body. Once again, we're acting like it's a condo or an apartment or something that we have moved into. I personally prefer to have a peanut butter and jelly sandwich in the breakfast nook of my fat body. So we had a lot of interesting clips in today's video, but what do you think? Why would you refuse to be weighed at the doctor's office? What do you think about that haiku about being publicly fat? And how annoying are children with their honesty? Leave a comment below. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Anyway, that about does it. Thanks for watching, commenting, liking, and subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.